Okay, so we'll talk about string. Okay, so we have seen, right? We could either do like say text1 equal to, I can say single quote, hello, how are you? Or I can even say I am fine, right? So in R, you could use either single quote or double quote, right? But what I have to remember is whatever you begin with. If I begin with single quote, I have to end with single quote itself. If I begin with double quote, I have to end with double quote itself. I cannot say something like this. Text3, okay, single quote, hi, and I used double quote here, right? This is absolutely wrong. Okay, so if I run it, you would get error, right? So here, that's the error, right? So you cannot do that. Okay. Now let's say if you have to print something like this, generally when you hear, right, say, let's say you want to use apostrophe, right? Who's that? Something like this. Let's have to print text like this. Now in this case, okay, I cannot give single quote because if I give something like this, okay, who's that, single quote here, to see what R is assuming. What R is assuming is this apostrophe is the closing pair of quotation. Okay, so R is assuming that this is the closing quote, closing pair, because we start with single quote. So this very next single quote will be treated as closing pair, right? And because of which, you get, of course, invalid string error, right? If you have something like this here, then it always makes sense to start with double quote. Okay. Now in this case, since I started with the double quote, it's assuming that ending should also be a double quote. It's assuming that closing will also be a double quote, right? So inside you can use single quote any number of times, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you can use single, double, whatever you start with, same thing you have to end with. Okay, you cannot use single quote in between if you are starting with single quote in the in the beginning. So if you have to use single quote in the text, you should start with double quote so that you can print, right? Okay, so you get who's that, right? Now let's say I need to print something like this. Something like this. He said, how are you? Right? In novels, generally, you'll come across such things, right? Quotation. So if I'm doing this, I have to say text4 equal to single quote, right? When I start with single quote, the R will look for closing single quote, right? So inside you can put this double quote. Now if I say cat text4, okay, you get the content as you wanted, isn't it? Now let's say I want to start, I want to print something like this where you have both single and double. Okay, so something like this. He asked, okay, who's he? So I want to use both single and double, okay, and I need to print them in using a single command. How will I do that? So for that, we have something called as, we call it as escape sequence, okay, or backslash character, okay. So how it will be done, let's see. I'm going to say text5, okay, text5 equal to, now since inside you're using both single and double, right? It doesn't matter what you're going to use outside, right? Now, since we're using twice double quote, okay, only one single quote, let's use single quote here. But it doesn't really matter. You can use either single or double, but you have to do something special. And I'm going to show you that. This is what we want, right? So I have copied and I have pasted it here. Okay. So this double is not a problem. Double quote is not a problem. This single is a problem, right? The single quote. Okay. So now, see, in programming languages, there are some. See, ultimately, if you see, we only have 26 characters and 10 digits, right? So if you have to print or do something with, something special, you have to use those limited characters only, right? So now to indicate that it's a string, we have to use quotation, right? But what if quotation you want to print as quotation only? You don't want, see here if I say this double quotation, this double quotation has a special meaning. This double quotation has a special meaning, and that meaning is that I am trying to print text as it is. I'm trying to print text as it is, right? So it is used to print text value in R. That's the special meaning that quotation carries. Here also, this outside, okay, single quotation is the special meaning, right? So that I'm saying that, okay, R, this is a string sentence or the string value, okay? But if you look at this double quotation is not special. It is doing the job of double quotation only, right? The double quotation here is doing the job of double quotation. It is not doing any special meaning. But the single quotation is doing the special meaning, correct? It's not the actual single quotation. This is not why we use single quotation in English, right? This is in programming we use to indicate something different. So it has special meaning. So what Python says is we can use this backslash character, okay, backslash character to indicate that the next character, okay. So backslash impact is only on next one character, only one character always, okay. And there are few more we'll see as we go along, okay. So what it says is backslash is a special command you can say, or a special character you can say in R, which indicates, okay, in fact backslash is common in Python, Java, and most of the languages, okay. This is the same thing. So what it says is the next character that you see is not special. Treat it as a normal character. That's what backslash says. Backslash next character is used to remove the special meaning of the quotation. It says, okay, backslash quotation means that quotation is no longer having the special power of closing the text. It is a normal quotation. That's what backslash means. Okay, so now if I print cat 5, you see, he said, how are you? Okay, the cat should have a slash n, right? So, you see, this is the same backslash n. Okay, so backslash with n has a special meaning. Okay, so n, if you write it, it's a normal character n. But when you put backslash n, you are saying that this n is not powerful, it's super power. It has got superpower of breaking the line. It gives a line break here. Okay, so when I run it, so okay. Okay, so this is my mistake here. You would give non-numeric. Okay, this is, let's see, I'm making a mistake here, I think. Okay, error in, yeah. So let's do one thing. What I'll do is I will add slash n here itself. Okay, right? So it printed a blank line. So the back, so it's a good example also. So see here, and if I write, it will print n as it is, right? If I remove n, okay, so you get n as it is. But when I put slash n, okay, it will, okay, it gives a special power, which is print a blank line, okay, point one. Point two here, quotation, if I had not used backslash, it would have acted like a closing pair for the single quotation, right? Slash says, okay, hold on, you are not a special, you are not no longer a special character, you are a normal quotation. So the quotation is printed as it is. Did you get this?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have to print both the quotations, so if you have to use, okay, so if you are not using quotation, you can use anything. Single or double, there's no difference. You feel free to use any of these. But let's say if you are having to, if you are, if you have to print single quote inside, then you use double quote. If you have to use double quote inside, you use single quote outside for closing text character, right? But you have to use both, right? See, it doesn't matter. Here also I can use it, okay? Say, who's that, right? Here also I can say single quote. And here I will say this. This is also fine. But why to put extra text, right? We want to be more efficient. Less number of code means more faster you can do program, right? So of course you can do it, okay? It's not a mandatory thing. But I'm saying generally that's the practice when you have, okay, you have to do it. But when you have both, then you can't skip, right? So you have to use skip character to skip. That's why it's called skip character itself, okay? So you can use backslash quotation, which means that quotation is a normal quotation. Don't assume it like a closing for this. Okay, so now you have seen that slash n, right? So let's say I'm going to say text 6 equal to, okay, slash n is for new line in our program. Okay, I want to print something like this. Now, if I try to run it, what will happen? Okay, what will happen? Okay, what will do is, see, the slash n has a power, right? Power is to print new line. Okay, so if I do slash n, it actually prints new line, and then you get is, space is for new line, space is for new line. Correct?
Yeah.
Now I want to print as it is. I want to print slash n as it is. I don't want slash n to give me a new line. Then what do I do? So slash n is giving special power to n. How do we remove the power? We just discussed, right? How do we remove the power? Which command is used to remove power?
The slash. Like the back.
Yes, backslash itself is used to remove the power. What should I do?
You just like put it before the slash.
Exactly. I will put a backslash before, because backslash n has a special power. I'll say backslash, no longer put that power. Okay. So when I put a backslash here, okay, it works only on one character, right? So this, the first backslash will remove the power from the second backslash. And when I run it, okay, so see, you got slash n. Right? Now let's say I want to print double slash n. What should I do? I want to print double slash n only.
Then you just put another slash.
Okay. So I told you another, slash works only on one character. So if I put another slash here, so these two slash together will print as one slash. Okay, and then let's see this.
Oh.
So what happened? So these two slash together printed one slash, and then you have slash n. So slash n printed a new line character, new line, right?
Yeah.
So what should we do? Put one more slash. So two slashes will always make it one slash. So if I put two slashes together, so this will be one slash. These two slash together will be one slash, and you will have n as it is, right?
Yeah.
See, you got it. This is how the new this backslash works. We have used
Hello?
yes.
Oh, I think your voice went away.
No, so I just silent. I was waiting for a response from you all.
Oh, I didn't hear the question, sorry.
Like, no, there's no question. I just asked, like, I was waiting for you to say yes, got it, type.
Oh, yeah.
Keshav,
Yeah.
that was not confident. Yeah. Keshav, was that a confident
Yeah.
yes?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, great. Okay, so yes, so this is how we use backslash. We still have to work on other parts of the string. Okay, so this is one part. Now, so we saw print and we saw cat, right? If you have to print a command, okay, you can use print or you can use cat, right? The print, you can pass multiple parameters. You can pass the text and variables as well, right? But the problem there is the print will put it in the quotation, right? As it is, okay? Cat will remove the quotation, but the problem with cat is that you can pass only one parameter. You can pass with the text or only variable. I cannot say comma something, a comma b. I cannot say, right? So you have third type, okay, which is also used to print. Okay, it's called paste. Okay, so paste. Okay, now paste itself doesn't print. Okay, I'll tell you what. So paste. I'll say this is sample text, comma another text. Okay, now let me try to run paste and see what happens. Okay, so it printed, this is sample text, another text. It combined, right? Now if I say cat of, let's say this,
Can paste do multiple data types?
yes, we'll see that as well. Yes, you're right. Okay, so paste will combine and the output was very much like print. And you can use cat on paste. Okay, you can do print on paste, you can do cat on paste. So, okay, so I'm going to say here a equal to 5 and I'm going to say comma a. So let me run this first and this. So see, you are able to print numbers as well. Right?
Yeah.
So one more thing here is in paste also has a parameter called as separator. Okay, so it's called sep. Okay, let's say I put comma sep equal to, okay, sep equal to, I put star, let's say. Okay, when you run it, so wherever the texts are getting joined, or the values are getting joined, it's not text because we have numbers as well, right? So wherever two different arguments are getting joined, the joint is replaced with whatever you give in the separator. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use separator as a sep command to put something in between. Okay. We have one more function called as format. Okay. So what format does? So let's say when you want to do some formatting on text or a number, this is the best way to do it. Okay. How? Let's say I have a equal to 5.55555. Okay, I don't want to print 5.55555. I want to print it in a I can define how many characters I want it to print. Okay, so for example, I will say say A1 equal to format of, we'll pass the A. Okay, so A is a value 5.5555, and I'll say here digits equal to 2. And now I will print A1, or I'll do cat A1. Okay. Okay, so see what happened. When I say 2, this is equal to 2, how many digits we had before, before I did digits 2 only, right? Yeah. Okay, so it should actually do, okay, just a second. This is not what I wanted. Yeah, let me do print. Yeah, so print, actually not cat. Okay, cat is doing its own this thing. So let's say I give 2 here. I have 5.555. Okay, and okay, no. Okay, so what it does is it actually, you can decide how many characters you want to, or how many digits after decimal you want to print. Okay, so here you see I gave, earlier we gave 5 here, so it printed this is P1 one, A1 only, right? not what I want. Okay. So total digits, okay, it should do total digits. So when I say 1, it should print only 5. If I say 2, it should print 5.6. But why it's not working? Okay. Format, right? Format a comma digit. Yeah. A okay, now if I don't do this, okay, if I directly say A1, it's doing default formatting. This is not what I want. Okay. Let me try to recollect. Okay. Um, okay. So if you let's do this. Or see here. Here is not telling me. This is spelling here. Now you got it? Why it's getting wrong?
Oh, I saw that, but I thought it was part of the syntax.
No, I got it wrong. And this was wondering why it's happening like that. Okay. Did it help? No, I'm printing A, right? That's why it didn't help. So I'll make it A1. Okay. So now you see, I said 1, so it yeah. So see, I said 1, right? So now it will round it off to one place. So we have 5 point, okay, so 5.555. So 1 means only one digit should be displayed, right? So one digit means 5. Okay. Now if I had 5.4 here, or maybe let's say 3 here, then in this case it would be only 5, right? If I say 2, so what do you think the 2 would give us?
5.6 or 5.4.
5.4, right? Because you have 5.35. So since 5 is there, and if you're removing 5, the 3 will go up to 3.4. Keshav, have you done this thing in your class, rounding off?
Yes.
Yeah. So see, so digits will tell you how many digits should be there in the total output. Okay. So when I said 1, it will, it will have only one digit, right? So it will round it off to 1. Now the decimal values will not be there. So 5.3 would become, or in fact 5.4, right? So 5.4 would become 5. Right? If I make it 4, then it will still be 6 only. Because if 4 would become 5, and then 5.5 would be 6. Right? No, it is 2, right? If you make it 1, it will be 6. So now tell me, if I make it as digits equal to 4, then what would be the answers? The digits equal to 4. What do you think would be the answer? Quick, quick.
Wait, what was the question?
If I say digits equal to 4, then what will you see the
Yeah.
answer as?
5.4556.
5.4556, right?
Isn't it 5.556?
Right, right. So because we are saying 4, right? So one digit is before decimal. After decimal, you will have only 3 digits. Okay. After decimal, you will have only 3 digits. So you have 4 here. So 4 will be there. 5, 5, and this 5 will become 6, right? So 5, 4, 5, 6. Right? So that's what format digits is. I can say something like, okay, so same thing, I'll take it and I'll say, instead of digit, I'll say scientific. Okay, so scientific, SCIEN, scientific, equal to, I'll say true. You know what is scientific notation? What is scientific notation? Scientific notation is 10 to the power, right? So if you have 542. If you have 542, it becomes 5.42 E02. E02 means 10 to the power 2, right? So in this case, okay, let me make it 500 or something bigger. Okay, 544. You see, 5.4. So always one value will be added before decimal. If you have 0.00000 also, the first character, first digit will be, so it will always be in one digit dot, right? So when you talk about the distance between different planets, stars, and things like that, we always talk in terms of scientific notation. Scientific notation will have only one value before decimal. Okay, and based on the value, it will do e to the power, right? E to the power 1 means e to the power 10. Multiply that with 10. Okay, here we have 500, right? So you see e power 2, e plus 02, plus 02, minus 02. Minus 02 means it is divided by. So if I say 0.5, 0.5, if I say 0.5, it will be 5e minus 01. This is called scientific notation. Okay. Then you can have okay, n small. We have something called as n small. Okay, so there is a slight difference between your digits and n small. Okay, let's see. Okay, so see, digits, we look at total digit before decimal, after decimal. Okay, but n small is only about after decimal. Okay, so digits will give you total digit before decimal, after decimal. Okay, so we need now values. So, but if you want only 3 decimal places, so you'll say n small equal to 3. Right? So this is about okay. Okay, then you have something called as okay. So this is what we have seen formatting. Um, Formatting the numbers. We also have formatting string. Okay, so let's say I have a name. Call it Sachin. Let's say. Okay, now sometimes you must have seen, especially when you write digits, right? There will be some fixed spaces, or when you fill a application form, right? It will have those square boxes, isn't it? They expect you to write in the square boxes. Now, square boxes will be fixed number of since your both guys' names are small, you'll probably use only 5 or 6 characters. The total name would be for 20 characters, let's say, right? But you'll end up filling only 8 or 9, right? So again, that's called padding. That means the number of spaces are fixed, width is fixed. You're using some part of it, okay? So maybe, the names which are bigger than you will use more spaces, smaller than you will take less spaces, but each form will have same number of spaces. They'll not ask you how many letters you have. Okay, your letters are 20, so take this 20 box form, right? It doesn't do that. So how it happens is, okay, so let's say you have name here. I'll say text. Okay, so talking about such a name, right? So I'm going to say text one format, okay, okay, and here I'll put that name one, okay, name one, and what is the width that you want to give? How many square boxes are there? I'll say width equal to say 20, right? So when you have 20 boxes, 20 widths, and you have text, okay, which is probably what, 6 letters. So now, do you want it to be left aligned, right aligned, or center aligned? Left aligned means first 6 characters will take the value, the rest 14 will be blank. Right aligned means last 6 characters will be text, first 14 will be blank. If I say middle aligned means equal number of characters. Okay, so if you have 20 here and we have 6, 7 on the left will be blank, 7 on the right will be blank. Okay, so I'm going to say justify. Justify equal to R. Okay, and I'm going to say print txt, right? Print txt1. So see what happened. It fixed 20 characters and first 14 are blank and last 6 have the name, right? And let's say if you have if you have 20 and 5 characters, and if I do center aligned, C. If I want to make center aligned, I'll say C. Equal number of spaces will be left on both the sides. Okay, of course, right? If you have odd number of spaces, then it can't be equal, right? So left will have one more space than the right, right? Okay, so this is how you can format text also. The justification is done. Okay. Okay, so this is how you generally work with or format numbers and text. Okay, these are all string related content. Now the last part, okay, we look at some of the functions that can be used. Okay, these are functions, inbuilt functions. Okay, we have not written it. This will come along with our installation. When we have done the installation, it will come along with our installation, right? So let's say I have a text called I am fine. How are you? Okay, and let's say I assign it to, okay, and now what I'll do is I will say print txt2, okay, txt2, okay, but before doing txt2, what I have to do, I want to put it as a uppercase. So I will say to upper, and then you say txt2. So txt2 upper is a inner function. We have two functions here. Inner function is to upper. So first inner function will be called. Inner function will convert into uppercase and outer function will print it in capital. Right? I want to print a small case. So I'll say lowercase. So I'll say 2 lower spelling is correct. Yes, you see I and H got converted into lowercase. Right? We have something called as nchar. Nchar will print the number of characters. Okay, so if I say print nchar of txt2, you see 23 characters are there, including blank spaces. Okay, blank spaces, everything is character, right? So the blanks, so 23 includes blank spaces.
Okay. Is there a way to find it without the spaces?
Is there a way to find what? Sorry?
Is there a way to find the number of characters without spaces?
Number of characters without spaces. Okay. Okay, so see, you will not have a direct way to find number of characters without spaces, but there is a way to find specific number of characters. Okay, so how many are there? How many blank spaces are there? So when you know how many blank spaces are there, okay, then total minus number of blank spaces will give you,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So that way, yes, but not directly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll talk about substring. Okay, so substring is about finding part of a given string. Okay, so let's say I have 23 characters, right? As you can see, I want to find first, fifth, or fifth and 10th, fifth to 10th. Okay, that's where you can use substring. Okay, so let's say substring print substring. Okay, so substring. Okay, and here I'll say txt2 comma 3 comma 8. Okay, so third to eighth character is getting printed here. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all. Okay. So okay, there are few. You have Str Split as well. Okay. Okay, so let's see this example. Okay, so see what we are doing is these are the functions for which you don't need to install any package. Okay, later we'll talk about there is a function called string r, package called string r, and string r will give us few more, not few more, lot more functions to work with. Okay, so we will later will spend time on doing the string r. Okay, yeah, string r to finding regular expressions. We have called we have Greg, GREG, you know, Greg expression, Greg XPR. Okay, so we will use. So these, whatever we have seen, this comes with default installation. You don't have to install anything else. Okay, but okay, let's spend some time, okay, on this since it's a Sunday. Okay, we come here and we'll say a string r. You see here this r, and if you tick box and say install, okay, and you say okay, so here you have to say the package name string r, okay, and you say install. Okay, so it's going to install this package. This is how we install new package. Okay, so see it says successfully unpacked. Okay, and it is installed. Once installed, you have to use it. You have to say, okay, use it, or you have to say library string r. So one thing is the installation. Once installation is one-time job, right? If install it, okay. In future, you don't have to install it, okay, until unless you uninstall it. If you uninstall it, yes, of course, you need to install it again. But once you install it, next time if you have to use it, you will simply say library string r. Okay, and when you run it, so now string r functions are ready to be used by us. So it will give us a lot more functions related to string operations. Okay, so I was talking about string split, right? So let's say I put okay, you have this text 2, right? And I'll say a equal to length of str split, and here I put txt2, okay, comma, right, and I'll say print a. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, I have to run this anyway, a and print a. And print a. So see, we have, it gave us 1. So okay, so if you the string split on basis of space. Okay, so what is our txt2? Txt2 is I'm fine, how are you, right? Okay, so a word, okay, into,
Your voice was cutting a little. Can you repeat the last sentence?
okay, sure. Okay, so okay, I use length here. Let's say I don't use length. So I'm saying when you do string split, str split is in string r. So if you do not do library string r, you won't be able to use this. It'll give you error that's str split function not found, right? So so you need to use it. You need to bring it, and then say a, and when you print it. So see, each of the word. Okay, so I gave blank space, right? So based on blank space, each of the word will be broken down into a single value, and this whole thing is called vector. This whole thing will be stored in a vector. Yes?
Yeah.
So if you want to break a sentence into different words, you can use str split.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Any questions? Keshav, are you able to follow?
Yeah.
These are the capabilities, okay? These are extra capabilities that are getting added, or that will help you to perform your what do you call, like, the logic in a better way. See, the main logic, what we have seen so far, that's what the main logic is. But these are extra capabilities. Okay, these are extra capabilities. You could do that. Okay, you could do it with for loop, right? But if you don't want to use for loop, if you want to do it in one, one sentence, one line of code, this is how the str will help you. Str will help you.
Okay.
Right? So, okay. So, there's one more interesting thing. Okay, let's do it. So I got, let's say, we declare text 3 equal to, I'm going to use a vector. Okay, so I'm going to say a country name, say USA, Canada, say India, say Australia. Okay, now what I'll do is I will say A equal to str underscore sub. Okay, and I pass txt3 here. And when you print A, okay, see what happens. Oh, no, this is not what I want. txt3, right? So now txt3, I will say 1,3. That will start with first character and go up to 3 characters. Okay, so start with first character. So it is first character is USA, right? And I want 3 characters. So it has taken first 3 characters from each of the text value input, right? So this is how you can get 3 letters from each name. Okay. You have backward indexing also. Forward indexing means, what is the index value of A? What is the position number of A? 1. What is the position number of U?
2.
And S?
3.
T?
4.
So on. Yes. You also have backward indexing. Position of A, okay, will be whatever, like 8 or 9 or 10, whatever. Also -1. Okay. So the position of last one is, of course, if you go forward, it will be same as number of characters, right? The length value. You can also do minus. When you don't know the length, I want last 3. So I'll say -1, -2, -3. Okay. So indexing is backward, -1, -2, -3. But when you're reading the text, it will be in same position, left to right only. So if I need last 3 characters, what is the position of L?
-3.
-3. Then -2, -1. What is the last index of last value? -1. So I'll say from -3 Okay, from -3 to -1. No, not 1, sorry, -1, right? You want to go all the way up to the right to left is not permitted. Okay, if I run this, let's see what happens. Okay, but that is that when you run it, okay, nothing is printed except u, because here -3 and 1 is same, right? So for US it makes sense because it's same. Okay, but for other countries, since it's bigger than 3 letters, you cannot go from right to left. It has always from left to right. So you will say -1 here. Okay, so now you see the last 3. USA is only 3 characters, so you get complete USA, but others you see you got last 3 characters. So this is example of Str split. Okay. So yes, we will do a lot more. Maybe once we are done with the basic stuff. Okay, so with that we finish our string topic. Okay, tomorrow will not tomorrow. Whenever we meet next, okay, we will talk about Rex. Okay.
Okay.
So let me know when we can meet. Okay, even if it is for half an hour, I'm okay, right? We could do half an hour every day. Not every day, maybe alternate days. Okay, until unless you guys have some project or something. So let's see.
Okay.
I'll talk to Malika as well, and okay, we'll try to have a plan for you.
Okay. Also, I had a quick question.
Yes.
So for some of them, I understand the logic, but I keep forgetting the syntax. So are there like any resources or any like books I could read or something?
Yes. In fact, you know, if you're interested, you can buy any R book. Okay, and I would suggest to you because you know you would be. Do you like to read physical book, online book? Let me ask you that.
I can do any.
Any, right? So then let me share a book with you. I'll share the link on your WhatsApp, and you can refer it. Okay.
Okay.
You can buy a book. Okay, any program which has a lot of content. Now should be more than 300 pages at least. That will be helpful. But I have a few resources I can share with you. No problem. So
Okay.
give me a day. By your tomorrow morning, you should have it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there are no question. We'll end it here for today. You have a good day ahead and a good rest of the week. We'll see you next week sometime. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Good day. Bye, Keshav. Bye.
Bye.